Hello and welcome to the SpideyDude.com YouTube channel. My name is Javi Trujillo, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of the Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure based on the PS4 Spider-Man game, featuring Spider-Man in his classic suit. So we'll take a front look at the box, give you the side with the Insomniac Spider-Man logo. In the back, we've got the credits for Hot Toys, different stores. And then we got a little side art that's kept closed with a magnetic flap revealing logo similar to the other side. As we open it up, you can see Spidey in all his glory there. We also get a little quote. Writing your memoirs, don't forget the hyphen between Spider and Man. So pretty cool stuff. I've never gotten, well, I take that back. I've got a Mando Deluxe Edition figure that came in a box this wide. Otherwise, the Hot Toys boxes are maybe about yay big normally for the standard figures. So with this magnetic flap, it's a little warped on the side. I have no intentions, at this moment to sell this guy, and I'm not going to be displaying the box because who's got the space? So the condition of the box isn't terrible. A little dent on the side, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with it. I got this 2 nights ago. Today's my first chance to sit with it and open it up. I did a little pre-slice at the top just so for ease of this video, and so we're just going to get right into opening this thing. We got a little flap here on the side. I'll lay it down, it's probably a little bit safer that way. All right. Lots of stuff in this box. All right, let's go to an overhead look really quick. All right, so a close-up of Spidey still in the package. We've got, if you count the eyes on his mask, there are 3 different sets of interchangeable eyes to give you different expressions. We've got his cell phone, the typical Spidey web lines that come with, seems like every Spider-Man figure. We've got the display stand, the dynamic pose stand, copy of the Daily Bugle, and different Spider-Man hands. So we can do the pointing action, web shooting, and then those are the web shooters if you want to stick the webs in. Let's see, underneath that, we've got the Scorpion's tail. Underneath this, we have the diorama base that comes in the back. Now, for those wondering, it is a cardboard material. We'll take a better look in a second. This feels like it's plastic, but this is definitely cardboard. Got some graffiti on it as well, including a spider. Here's the back side of the diorama. You can change it to get the interior of the building. Looks like there's magnets on here as well. And at the bottom of Spidey, there's his instructions. So we're going to take a closer look inside the box. All right, we've got the background out of the packaging. Definitely a sturdy cardboard. A little closer look at the details here. Various holes in the wall, power outlet. And then we've got the window as well. Actually, it looks really good, and this is a little bit elevated, so it gives it some depth. Really appreciate that. All right, this is a nice piece. As for the wall crawler himself, get this lifted off. Again, here's all the hands. Spidey here has 30 points of articulation. This is a new head sculpt. I'm assuming they mean new compared to the advanced suit version. We've got pieces for the stand here. Yeah, there's going to be some hard choices of how I'm going to make Spidey look for his first time out the bat. Another part of the stand. No idea what this is. Probably, I'm going to guess, the scorpion's tail. And shout out to my boy Tokyo Joey Ian. He did an unboxing video on Nerd Room Podcast on their YouTube channel. Check his stuff out. The man knows his stuff, and he does great unboxing and review videos. But here we got Spidey in all his plastic protected glory here. All right. Another look at old Mac Gargan's. Wow. This is different than I expected. It's kind of rubbery. And it does have, it is bendable as well. And yeah, I'm going to assume that this plugs in or screws into that. But the color detail on this, the paint job is pretty good. You've got some dirt, zoom in there, some dirt application to give it some authenticity. And the tail looks really translucent. I really love how they did the stinger on the end of his tail. I'll have to play this part of the game again to compare it directly, but it looks really good. I mean, I doubt they're going to make a scorpion figure at this point, so I'll take it. I'll take it. The bugle with its headlines. And this Spidey's base. There's not a lot of consistency, if I remember right, between the video game bases. They all have different pictures on the stand itself. This one is all Spidey. And of course, this is the classic suit. All right, so let's free Spidey up here. I'm going to take off this packaging and get a closer look. Quick look at the instructions here. You should proceed with caution when pulling out the eyepieces. Don't excessively bend the arms or legs or the figure will be damaged. Don't have it in high temperatures or it'll be damaged. The outfit is not detachable. Don't take it off, otherwise, you guessed it, it might get damaged. So they give you a pretty good idea of what his range of motion is, how to swap out the different parts. On the back side, which arms work best for which accessories, how to assemble the stand, and how to pose your Spidey with it, making sure you find a good balance so it doesn't fall over. So I took the liberty of putting it together right now, because who wants to see me fumble around with all this stuff? All right, let's get back to Spidey. All right, so here Spidey is out of the box. I haven't posed him at all, just, moved him enough to get all the various, pieces of plastic off of him to get him free from this plastic prison. So the details on the cowl are just so exquisite. I love all the care they took into it. And this is definitely a plastic piece, but then the suit has like a soft kind of vinyl texture, a little rubbery. I know there are a lot of people who are concerned about the stitching. Mine seems to have held together pretty well. I noticed my 2099 figure has similar stitching on this side. I think that's just how they make their Spideys. The other one doesn't have that. That's just how they hold the suit together. And you have to really zoom in. You can see all the different texture patterns that they try and give the suit. the subtle blue lines. One of the things I didn't like about the Homecoming suit was all the extra black lines that weren't there in the comics. The video game look tries to give it some texture so it's not just, you know, blue tights. And I think they did a really good job of capturing an iconic look, but still making it feel modern and contemporary. Taking a quick look at the bottom of his soles. Got Hot Toys on there. That's Thea. A nice web pattern that you can see when you have the figure swinging around and do photo mode stuff. Closer look in here at his web shooters. They do a really good job of blending it in. And of course, you can take them off, but then you're going to have a gap between the forearm and the hand itself. So look at the web shooter. Oh man, just the gloves look awesome. Yeah. Pretty impressive figure. And he's got 30 points, over 30 points of articulation, so you can do some pretty cool stuff with him, I hope. And at a 1/6 scale figure, he's just under a foot tall, because Spidey is 5'10". So, let's see what else we got. I wanted to give you a closer look at Peter's cell phone. You can see he's calling Dr. Octavius. It's pretty flat. There's a little camera at the top, and no company logos, so they're safe from any licensing. I really appreciate what they did here with the newspaper. Not only do they have a different front and back, but there's a lot of images from the game. There's several pages as well. Again, with images, if you play the game or seen the making of book, you'll be familiar with these images. And not much, but they even have ads. Bugle Boggle game, I'll have to give it a look, see if I can read it enough to play. But I even get a little appearance of Miles and Mary Jane, for all those Mary Jane fans. Here's a close-up look of his eyes. I just pressed a little bit on the corner here, and you can pop that right out. And then I'm going to go with this kind of Ramita-esque squint, give him a thicker eye line. Yeah, it looks really good. Although Spidey seems a little puzzled right now. Here we have both eyes for his mid-squint look. I'll show you the head articulation. Got up, down. It's really, oh, he can move side to side really easily. The up down's a little stiffer, but he does have some good range of motion. My Dark Knight Rises Batman is on a magnet swivel. This Spidey doesn't have that, but you're not swapping his head out. And that's the kind of gap you'll get at the back. If you look down too much, I want to be careful. And that's looking back. But again, you got ratcheted system. You get some pretty deep yoga poses with Spidey if you want. So not too shabby. So when it comes to web hands, you can remove this piece right here, and that lifts out. And then there's another piece that has the start of the web line. You just snap it in, and this will line up with his hand if you do it right. Whoop. So if you line it up, you want to get the web shooter aligned with the web coming out. And of course you can rotate this piece around, it's floating. But we'll keep them like this just to keep the web lines going. And then you just pick a random blob of webbing. You can just thread it in this hole. There's Spidey spinning a web. So here's Spidey on his display stand. Hovering over with the scorpion behind them. One of my favorite web lines that the Spider-Man figures come with is this spaghetti webbing strand. It's translucent. You can see all the different strands of the web line coming together. And they design a hand so it can just fit right in. And it looks like he's just shot off a big web line and he can go swinging wherever he wants to go. Yeah, you can do some pretty decent poses with him. It looks like the costume is a costume. It's not a plastic figure. I mean, it is a plastic figure, but the suit itself is made out of a real material. So you're going to see bunching when you pose them. So you want to be careful when you do that. But if you're a fan of like Alex Ross's artwork, where he's always putting in like the crease lines from costumes, well, that's what you get with a hot toy. With most hot toys, you're going to see, you know, how it bunches up right there when he bends his arm, and that's okay, but depending on where you live, you want to be careful with how you display them long term. The fabric will bounce back. I've heard people say, and it just kind of depends on how long you keep them in there. It will depend on how long it takes for that line to go away. But I've done some stuff with my 2099 figure and put him back in a neutral museum pose and then not notice that there were bunches. So, speaking of 2099, I thought it'd be fun to do a side-by-side comparison shot on their respective figure stands. Miguel's in a little bit more of a crouched pose, so he doesn't seem quite as tall as Spidey right this second. But if you look at the base, you have the same font for what the name of the suit is, but obviously Miguel's suit, or his stand, has one solid image versus Peter's got tons of different, a collage. But still the Marvel Spider-Man logo. And let's look at him really quick then. He's got some nice details as well. And this is reflective of the game suit, not the comic suit, so he doesn't have the web foil on his back to help him glide through Nueva York. But every unclenched hand has the little Miguel talons that help him climb walls. And he was an exclusive, I think, from 2021. So I was able to pick him up. He dropped right before this guy got announced, but he shipped pretty fast. So I've had him in my collection for a while now. This Spidey just arrived 2 days ago, but he's been out, I think, for about a month in the US. So here's a side-by-side look in more of a museum pose of the two Spideys. They do look pretty evenly matched, but you can definitely tell there's a different shape to the cowl. I really like how, even in the game, even though it's a different skin, the different Spideys have different body types, just like the Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider. And of course, what comparison would be complete without Spider-Men pointing at each other? So they actually both come with, well, 2099 comes with one pointer finger. Classic suit comes with 2 pointer hands. And I switched out his eyes as well, so you get the full-on squint. Because he's angry, because you don't point at Spider-Man, even if you're Spider-Man. All right, Spider friends. Thanks for watching this review. I am in love with this figure. The hands come off really easy to adjust to the different styles of posing. This eye takes a little bit of futzing to make it look like it's flush, but otherwise, swapping out the eyes is a pretty easy process as well. And when I think about Spider-Man, when I play this game and I'm playing in this classic suit, there's something about the way they captured the design that makes me feel like I'm an 8-year-old kid again watching Spider-Man and his amazing friends. In addition to being just one of the best superhero costumes ever created, there's something about the way they've got the web lines spread out, the vibrancy of the colors. I mean, this is Spider-Man. And it's a fantastic game if you haven't played it. It's on PS4 and PS5 and PC now. And this is a magnificent hot toy. I'm going to have tons of fun trying to pose them and figure out how to display them. And I can't wait to see what they reveal next. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time at the Spidey Dude Experience on SpideyDude.com.